Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to take a trip down the tropical plant lane because I was reorganizing my plant room after finishing those 15 citrus bonsais. If you missed that playlist, there was 3 episodes on orange, lemons, limes, and key limes. So if you have them yourself or you're interested in getting into them, go ahead, look back and check that one out. But when I was reorganizing, this always happens. I find either bugs on a plant or I find a plant that needs some corrective action. So this time was no different. So we're going to work on our Philodendron Congo Rojo. We have 2 of those. And then there's another philodendron that I'm considering putting all 3 of these into one pot, but I might just have to rectify at least this issue here. So that is the Congo Rojo. Big, beautiful leaves, as you see. Now this is its twin sister. Nice and upright, getting a windy trunk. That's the coolest thing about the philodendrons. I've had it 2 years. It's in an original nursery pot. This one, I have had it 1 year. It's in its original nursery pot. And I had it in a spot where it really had to crawl for sunlight. So as you can see, that trunk is gnarly. It's totally cool. I'm going to have to expose it a little bit. But it is literally bringing all of its foliage out to the side, which is pulling the root base right out of the pot. So you see I have some rocks in there right now to hold it in while I assess and do corrective action. So we're going to go outside, take a look, see if we have a pot big enough to do boom, boom. And then this nice little variegated green and white one with dark green spots over here. Let's see what the name of this one is. I'd be lying if I said I could remember them all. So this one is Dieffenbachia, and it's considered, in quotes, camouflage. So Dieffenbachia. Maybe that is not a philodendron. I'm sure my buddy Todd at Todd's Tropicals will cue in with a comment and let me know exactly what it is. So if we get the 3 of them, they're all in 10-inch pots into one. That would be cool. I'm always looking to consolidate awesome plants because that makes more room for new ones. But if not, at a minimum, I think I'm going to defoliate this one, take a look at its gnarly trunk, and plant it at a more sufficient angle in that pot that I set it in. All right, so that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so I have a couple more of those terracotta colored plastic pots. They're slightly larger than the 10-inch pot that those are in, so it's always an option to plant them separately. I'm gonna make my way out. I'll give you all an update on the way. So yes, I even have to put up this tall stuff here, not because of Bruce Lee, although he's an escape artist, the big black boy. The little one, the black and white one, Millie, she will jump up onto this. Boom. She'll hop over anything. She's like a little Houdini. Huh, Millie? Yeah, she could jump 3 times as high as she, can stretch on her back legs. So these are a hell of a lot of seeds from Europe, and they are all cold stratifying because they were a fail. I tried to do them the easy, lazy man's way, soak them for 2 days, and as you see, a ton did not germinate. These are the pots that I'm going to be putting my weeping Norwegian spruce in because I put them outside so they'll kill those mealy bugs if there's any eggs in the soil or something like that. So they're standing by. Okay, one last thing before we take a look, see if we got a nice big pot for the 3 of them. Ideally, I'd have a tub like I got my blueberries in. But I wanted to show you the tree farm and what Laura and I did. Okay, so we marked out, Millie, no. We marked out a 90 by 90. Okay, as you can see. And so that goes all the way around. And I'm going to draw to scale on graphing paper the layout, but essentially it'll be, each row will be staggered. So it'll be here, 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet. And then 1.5 feet in, but 3 feet that way, we'll have another row start. 3 feet, 3 feet. So it's staggered. So each row will be in alignment with the other. And that's how I'm going to grid it out. And I believe My mental math is exactly accurate for 500 trees. And then in the fall, we'll fill in the gaps with the trees that we lost. And there's just enough property left for another 500 trees, just in this field. I have plenty more room, but this is an initial experiment in the best possible location. You see that sun is high in the sky. Get a nice breeze off the water. All right, so coming up where, you know, the everything kind of gets organized, piled. We got our chicken coop that we had our little babies in when we started them in the basement. You know, pots and different things that when you need it, you get it. Tomato plants. So this pot right here might actually be perfect. So I believe the other pots inside are, let's see, oh, they're about this size, and they're not full. So I think that if I mess with the roots a little bit, get them unpot bound, do the proper defoliation, I could have a nice little grouping. Oh yeah. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're going to do a ginormous 3-plant tropical planting. All right, stand by. All right, y'all. So this Congo Rojo, it's at the point where it won't even stand up straight. Just moving it over here. I try to put it on the table and it falls over. So the plan was already on this one specifically to remove all of the large, older growth. And you see coming up from the middle, these lighter red colors, those are the new leaves and the new growth. So why don't we get closer with the old cuts, expose this root ball, and cut out all this old growth so that it will actually stand. And then we'll do the other two and in a little less dramatic fashion. And we'll go outside to plant them in the big pot, because I imagine a big pot, a lot of soil, big mess. So it's actually unseasonably warm today, which is really cool. The sun's out bright, so we're going to go do it on the porch. Get it while we can, because it can drop down. It's supposed to snow again this weekend, so the fact that we're getting like 40s and sunny right now is glorious. And that's, of course, in Fahrenheit. I am a true-blooded United States Marine, proud American. So we do everything in Fahrenheit, inches, to go against the grain like the rest of the world. Plant is really cool. Huge. I have a friend that worked at a nursery, and annually they had like an employee huge discount day. And so I reaped the benefits. You can experiment with getting new plants when, you know, they're 80% off. I just love the way the tropical plants look in the house. Now what I do with these is I could, you know, do like a wreath or something. I soak them in huge vases in the water, and they'll maintain just like any cut flower for a week or so. I just hate to see them go to waste. Okay, get those out of the way. So it looks quite different now. So I don't know if we would hurt the trunk by peeling off these old cuts, and if we should leave them for now. Maybe I'll just get it as close as I can, and we'll wait for them to fall off, because I don't want to expose any flesh of the trunk and, you know, put it in a weakened state right after I repot it. These are big, meaty arms here. All right, cool. Wow, that trunk is awesome. This out of here, that offers nothing. Cool, real cool. So it has these little jobbies. I forget the name of them, but they are, you find them on orchids, older orchids. That makes me think this thing has some age to it. All right. Oh boy, here's a root swirling around. All right, I'm going to get the other.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
All right, y'all. It feels good to be outside, baring my arms and my whole head. Granted, my face is always covered with the beard, but winters in Northwest Connecticut, they could be brutal, down to negative 55 below Fahrenheit we got last year. So when I get the chance to get out in the sun, obviously I want to show as much skin as I can. My buddy Nigel Saunders of the Bonsai Zone, very popular, you probably know him. He did a little video, you could check it out, on him doing a little outdoor woods workout with a walk in the woods, checking out the trees, some squats, some push-ups, and some breathing exercises. Oh, that was almost bad. And he talked about the positive effects of the vitamin D3 that you get from the sun's rays absorbed through the skin. It's the only way that you can actually get that true form of the vitamin D3. I just wanted to take it a step further because this is the field that I'm a professional in. And it's recommended you get 15 minutes of exposure to the sun every single day. Okay, now that's 15 minutes of exposure to the sun if you are completely naked, showing your full epidermis. Okay, you have full absorption, full ability to absorb the sun all around you. Now add a bathing suit, add 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, you're covering that much skin. Add pants and a t-shirt, add another half hour, you're covering that much skin. So think about in the winter, you have gloves on, you have a hat on, scarf, you're just showing your eyes how much sun you actually need. And that's why people get seasonal mood disorder. It directly relates to positive and negative mindset. So if you do not have the availability of sun in the winter, I did have some minor success. It's not the same as replacing the sun, but they're called happy lamps, and they're vitamin D lamps that you can just set on you while you're working on your bonsai or whatever for 20 minutes a day. And if you're getting sun deficient in the winter, that's a great way to alleviate that issue. Okay, now let's move back onto the bonsai and the tree stuff that I absolutely love. That's slowly becoming from a hobby and an obsession into a profession as I start this tree farm. Right, so I'm going to take a look at the roots over the pot because it's going to take a ton of soil. So I'll shake whatever comes loose right into there. I've had no bug issues with these, knock on wood, so I'm not really too concerned with reusing the soil, in case you're wondering that. All right, it's coming. Just want to wiggle it. Oh yeah, good and pop out. Boom. Okay. All right, so you take a look at that. Big mass of roots. So since I assumed the roots were going to be pretty large, I'm not going to use my bonsai rake to get these roots raked out. Truly, I'm just going to open them up a little bit and then let them go. I'm not doing a hard prune to the roots or anything like that. But I'm just simply getting them out from the ball. If there's any wrapping around, I'm straightening them out. Ooh, this one's cool. Let that grow right out of the pot. All right. Dominant one down here wrapping around. Boom, open that guy up. All right. Cool. Set that in there temporarily. Yeah, I think these are going to fit. It's going to be nice. And I'm not trying to minimize the growth or size on these at all like a bonsai, so just putting them in one big deep container. It'll just buy me a year or so. Enjoy it. It'll condense in a a smaller area. I'm always looking to put groups of tropical plants together and build the little like landscape groupings you see on the tropical resorts and such when you travel to little islands. So this is my way of just condensing and giving I guess it is a miniature version, but a potted version of what you see like in Jamaica or Aruba, Mexico, the Dominican, St. Martin. Even where I lived in South Carolina, it's nice and tropical down there in the Palmetto State. And they had awesome tropicals. Crotons and all sorts of crazy philodendrons, things they call elephant ears. I guess this would be in that family actually. So they're elephant ears or philodendrons too. All right, about the same on this root, these sets of roots. Okay, let's set that in there. Just want to get a feel for the fit and how I'm going to want to angle them. Last but not least, the one that almost fell off. That would have been crazy, huh? All right, y'all, so here it is. I have it seated up in the corner here, masking my tripod and charcuterie board, and right above the puppy door. So I'm loving the fact that it's consolidated into one pot. And look at these. Boom. So I got that one with new growth crawling towards that window, filling in that space. And this one's looping back towards the kitchen. And I believe the dominant light will make this thing come back once again. And then this is an awesome backdrop. I trimmed it back a little more than I wanted to. So right now it doesn't look how I wanted to, but when it fills in, if you can use your imagination, these nice and tall there, filling in that nice gap, this still flowing out to the window, and then this starting to come in with its leaves, turning and facing, and even throwing some out towards the kitchen. So really excited about that. And so that's going to wrap it up for Jarhead Bonsai. I know I was in the middle of planting and I ran out of memory, but I didn't realize that because obviously I wasn't facing my phone. So anyways, I finished them up. I got some of the roots trimmed. I fit them in there nicely, put them in the direction I wanted. And then I backfilled in there with a really high and perlite pre-mixed topsoil. I like the perlite because it really keeps it light and airy with these tropicals. So that's going to do it for us today here at Jarhead Bonsai. I'm Jared Paul. If you enjoyed this tropical plant episode and you want to see more on the tree farm, make sure to check back. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Have a great day, y'all.